Welcome back to Awful Stories. I'm Matt, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe for daily videos. The first story we're going to cover is titled AITA for calling my friend's husband a useless piece of shit. This was posted to the AITA subreddit by a user named Useless Dad. My best friend and her husband have 4 children, ages 8, 6, 4, and 3. My friend's husband is a great father when someone is there to help, but when he is alone with all 4 kids, he gets overwhelmed and freezes. A few weeks ago, my friend was sick, so I brought over dinner. We thought it was just a bad cold. While we were eating, my friend went to the bathroom, and her 3-year-old followed her. The little one came running out, saying her mom was throwing up. All of the kids ran to the bathroom, followed by me and my friend's husband. I helped her clean up while her husband went to get her nausea medicine and a thermometer. When he came back, I asked him to get the kids out of the bathroom so she could have some space. After we got them out, I took her temperature, and it came back at almost 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So I went out to get her some Tylenol and water. When I got back, the kids were all in the bathroom again because their dad couldn't keep them away for more than 2 minutes. I gave her the Tylenol and water, and she almost immediately started vomiting again, then passed out. Her husband just stood there while I was trying to get her into the recovery position, get the kids away from her, and call emergency services. I managed to get all of them out of the bathroom, and her husband kept coming back every 20 seconds asking if I could call their nanny to help with the kids, if I could go to the hospital with her, if I had started the dishwasher, or if he needed to hand wash the youngest sippy cup, and so on. When my friend regained consciousness, he even started asking her how to do bedtime for the little ones, whether she had washed their pajamas yet, and if they'd gotten screen time that day, or if he could put on a movie. I told him his wife couldn't hold his hand right now, and that he just had to figure it out. He said he's not usually the one who deals with this, and that he was trying his best. Then he went back to asking what stories the kids liked, what setting to put the sound machine on, and how they liked their milk. I finally snapped, told him to figure it out on his own, and called him a useless piece of garbage. It's been nearly a month, and he still acts irritated when I stop by the house. My friend says he'll get over it, but my boyfriend thinks I was unnecessarily rude, and that he really was trying his best. Am I the asshole for calling him a useless piece of shit when he couldn't handle his own kids while his wife was having a medical emergency? Traditional bench said, NTA. His wife was unconscious, and he was asking about bedtime stories and sippy cups. Sometimes the harsh truth is necessary. Positive relative said, honestly, I think you were too kind. Would he have even called emergency services if you weren't there? Or would he have just shaken her awake to ask why she was slacking off? This man is not a good father. He's pretending to be one while his wife works herself into serious illness. I bet she hasn't received any real help to recover either. I would make it my life's mission to make this man miserable and help my friend prepare for a divorce. She's already a single mother. Removing him would actually reduce the amount of care work, since she has to parent him as well. The second story for today is titled, My Husband Won't Initiate Affection or Intimacy, No Medical Issues, and I have to beg for even the bare minimum. This was posted to the relationship subreddit by a deleted user, I34F, have been with my husband, 34M, since the fall of 2019. We got married in late 2023 and had our first baby in mid 2024. The problem is intimacy and affection, or rather, the absence of it unless I initiate. We haven't made out in years. Even before marriage, I brought this up, and since 2021, I've addressed it regularly. I've asked for longer hugs, real kisses, and more physical connection. Nothing changes. When I bring it up, he usually sighs, rolls his eyes, or acts like I'm being dramatic. That makes me feel like my needs are too big, but I don't think it's unreasonable to want physical connection with my spouse. He'll respond with an action, like a one-armed hug or a peck on the lips, but no words of affirmation or reassurance that I'm sexy to him. But the precursor of dismissal makes it feel icky and forced. For clarity, there are no medical issues. When we do have sex, he's fully able to finish and be present in the moment. The issue is that he never initiates. Sometimes he'll even agree when I ask, saying, later tonight. But then the night comes and nothing happens. It feels humiliating to beg for intimacy and still be let down. I've tried different ways of initiating lingerie, spontaneous makeout attempts, even waking him up with oral sex. But even after that, there wasn't any added affection or warmth the next day. I've told him gently, I don't need this right this second, but my love tank is empty and I need more physical affection. Still, nothing changes. At this point, I feel more like a roommate, nanny, or house manager than a partner. I'm drained from asking for the same thing over and over. Being dismissed hurts worse than staying silent, and I worry that if I stop asking altogether, it will mean I've stopped trying. This lack of intimacy also feels tied to a lack of emotional closeness. The marriage I imagine for us is so much richer than this, laughing, exploring, desiring each other. I've always seen intimacy as a powerful, joyful part of connection, and I thought he would value that too. For background, not to sound cocky, I know I'm conventionally attractive. I'm confident in my body. I'm not perfect, size medium, hourglass with some belly, but I've always been comfortable in my skin. In past relationships, partners couldn't keep their hands off me. I hate making comparisons, but the contrast makes me feel like I've lost a part of myself. Right now, I just don't feel desired. That loss is taking a toll on me and on how I view our marriage. How do I cope with feeling so unwanted despite voicing my needs? At what point do I accept that this won't change versus keep trying to fix it? And how do you accept it? Has anyone navigated this roommate phase successfully? And if so, how? This post hits hard on the painful and frustrating experience of feeling invisible and unwanted in a marriage that's supposed to be a partnership of love and connection. The heartache is clear, wanting affection, intimacy, and even just genuine physical touch, and being met with sighs, eye rolls, and the sense that your needs are too big. That crushing feeling of asking again and again, but only getting minimal or forced responses feels like emotional exhaustion on a whole other level. This is one of those crossroads where the line between roommate phase and a fundamentally disconnected marriage blurs. Navigating it means grappling with whether the partner is willing or able to meet halfway emotionally. I really feel for the OP in this situation. User ColdAd commented, I have answered many such problems on various platforms because I was in a 20-year relationship like this. I will tell you bluntly, you cannot change something as deeply rooted as the connection between emotion and sexuality in a person. You may be with someone who is avoidant or passive aggressive on some level, but the bottom line is this. You've told him how you feel, how it makes you feel, and he simply doesn't care. Otherwise, he would work to fix it with you. The truth is that this status quo suits him. He needs the distance, perhaps even wants to keep you starved. My ex told me, in the end, he couldn't fancy people he loved and couldn't love people he fancied. You could break your heart trying to solve the puzzle, but things would always default to this starvation diet. I wish I had left, even though we had a child together. I wish I had saved myself years of plummeting self confidence and banging my head against a brick wall. Looking back, I abandoned myself to a battle I could not win. I suspect you will get many similar replies, and also some about pornography. That may be true, but the thing is, porn is simply a device to maintain distance. The desperate need to maintain distance is the real issue, and that is the result of deep emotional conditioning. Good luck. Coffee Cake commented, you can't fix a relationship problem by yourself without the other person admitting that there's a problem and wanting to fix it too. If you want to be miserable as an adult, you can choose that. But why model this kind of relationship to a child? If you don't love yourself enough to leave, do it for your child before they grow up and decide never to get married because they think it's a miserable experience, or worse, accept being treated like they're not wanted. This third and final story is titled How to Deal with My Boyfriend Dying at 28 and was also posted to the relationship subreddit by a user named A Part Combination. I, 26F, have been with my boyfriend, 28M, for over 3 years. For the past 2 years, he has been fighting an aggressive metastatic sarcoma. Things have gotten very bad since June. This disease has stripped our relationship of all normalcy. Now, things are extremely grim, and he's considering a feeding tube. He can barely walk and does not leave his mother's house except for necessary doctor's appointments. I'm experiencing extreme caregiver burnout, and I'm getting really resentful toward him, though I know he is going through absolute hell, and none of this is his fault. Seeing him wither away further and be in constant pain is beyond devastating and sickening for me to watch these days. I do not want to do this anymore. One of my doctors told me about 8 months ago that I cannot watch him pass at the end, and that if she were his mother, she would not allow it. He wants me to be around, but he's now verbally lashing out at me, even criticizing me for going to my yoga class for 1 hour a few times a week. I am also a full-time CCRN and have emotional breakdowns in the storage room most days. I have my first intake with a grief therapist next week. How can I get through this? There has been so much suffering. I've lost myself. I am so depressed. I never have the energy to see friends, and I'm lashing out at my family. What can or should I do? Imchogirl commented, see your therapist. Breathe. Give yourself permission to go to yoga without any guilt or blame. Whenever he gets upset or tries to monitor your time, just say, I'm here now. Is this what you'd like to talk about? Allow yourself breaks and kindness, and take care of yourself.